Welcome back, Oddie's Airsoft, and we're going to start a little bit of a video series with a guy called Dave Barry. Now, this is Dave Barry, also known as the Minder. This guy is a pure genius gun builder. My words, not his. And I have to say, his gear is fantastic. Dave builds guns from scratch. He buys each component and sets up his guns exactly how he wants them. Now, Dave agreed to do a series of videos for us on his part of his collection, not all of his collection, only part. Unfortunately, during the making of this series, we ran into a technical difficulty in as much that my SD card and my camera blew up, and we lost a fair bit of footage because of it. So a class 10 card of 32 gig inside gone. Not exactly a cheap thing to lose, but hey, look, life happens and we move on. But what we did salvage, I've tried to turn into a series of videos. This is part one of such videos, so hope you enjoy and also understand that we are missing little bits and pieces of the episodes because of a failure of my SD card. Talk to you soon. This is Oddie's Airsoft. Enjoy the rest of the video. Hi, this is Oddie's Airsoft. We're at Red Barn. And I'm here with a guy called Dave Barry. Dave Barry is also known as the Minder. That's his tag, and he is a master craftsman of custom built guns. So I asked him to show me a few of his wares, and he's done that for us today, and we're going to take a look over the next couple of vids at a couple of his creations. Now, as you may have guessed, most stock guns are fairly basic. They're not made particularly well, and they do tend to have a few upgrades done. Now, this guy doesn't take a stock gun and rebuild it. He actually buys each component, searches them out, and builds the guns from the ground up. So every single component is hand built, it's hand research, it's researched to the fullest, and he then, as I said, puts them all together. So as I said, we're going to get Dave to have a quick run through of all his guns. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 guns to have a look at. All slight variations. They are all M4s, yeah?
All M4s, all M4 types, Jerry, yeah.
Brilliant. Right, so I get behind the camera and we're going to let Dave do the talking. So, I'm going to take up the first gun that you want to show off, Dave.
Alright, first one we have here, it's a copy of a Stoner rifle. It's a SR16 URX. That's the URX is the front rail system for carrying your various attachments and so forth. Full copy, sniper grip, ambi catch, flip up Knights type sights, Knights type trigger guard, and she's backloaded with a crane stock type battery.
Okay, let's take it back a bit and we're going to go from the internals out. So when you decided to build this, what did you sort of have in your mind? Sort of rate of fire, was it going to be a fast gun or a medium gun?
No, I would see this, well, as an M4 it should be shooting at a fairly high rate, but for me I think around 20 BBs a second, maybe 22, but I wouldn't really want much more. I can stock it with an 8.4 or a 9.6 battery to adjust that. But the setup I have made with this is, it's based on a G&P 8mm bearing box. Now I put standard ratio classic army gears in it, and it's powered by a G&P M120 motor, which gives a fair rate of fire, which I'll just give you a little demonstration here. Single shot, as you can see, it's nice and crisp. Full auto.
Now, in this gun, right? So what's the gearbox again? Did you say?
Well, it's a custom made. It's based on, Jerry, on a G&P 8mm casing. What I would do with that is I have bought an 8mm box, but I've stripped it down completely. I take out any weak components, usually with G&P, anti-reversal latches in poor shape, cut-off lever which is responsible for a single shot. I'll replace that with a steel version. As I said, I've changed the gears, full reshim. I've actually short stroked. I'll try and give you a very short explanation of that. A normal gun has 15 teeth on the sector gear and, or I beg your pardon, 15 on the sector gear, 16 on the sector gear and 15 on the piston. Now on this I've removed one from each, and they call that short stroking, so the gun will turn over a little bit quicker. Now you can only do this with certain guns because the piston will only be drawn back enough. You will need a certain air volume, but just not necessarily with this gun, but just another little thing I've done, and I feel it takes the pressure off the last tooth on the piston because it's not pulled back as far.
Excellent. So this isn't fitted with any MOSFETs or anything like that?
No MOSFET on this, Jerry, but there's really high grade wiring on it. G&P M120 motor is pretty good. Connections, Dean's connections, all Dean's connections for batteries.
Why do you do that?
I do that for trigger response and to help the conductivity. You get less resistance. Now there's a disputed fact and well discussed fact in airsoft as to the use of fuses or not using fuses. Personally, in a gun like this, I don't use a fuse because it's a personal opinion, I feel it causes more resistance.
Excellent.
But if anyone is to pick up this gun, as I say, single shot is
very crisp.
She is very crisp, very crisp.
Now you don't have a micro trigger in.
There's nothing special in the trigger about this. Contacts are well done. It's actually a G&P switch. They do a good switch. They do good wiring. I've used 16 AWG. It's an American wire gauge, and that basically is tells you how much actual wire cord is in the middle of the wire.
Brilliant.
In the middle of the cable.
I'm just going to do a quick pan and scan on this cam now.
That's it. You've all your Knights Armaments trades, and as I say, genuine copy Knights Armaments, grip, stock, you name it. Identical to the real thing.
You have a different flip-up sight, I see.
You have the flip-up Knights type sight.
That's kind of
So I'll just show you the other side.
different.
That's the Stoner rifle. It's made famous by a guy called Eugene Stoner in the 60s. And Knights Armament is the people who produced this particular version.
Fab. Excellent.